The de Blasio administration has just hired not one, but two high-powered law firms, and I guess you can't blame them. As we've told you, it is dealing with a bunch of investigations simultaneously, and the list is on your screen now. There is the fundraising probe, the investigation of the NYPD top brass, the deal that lifted protections on a nursing home, paving the way for luxury condos, and of course the ethics probe into Campaign for One New York, de Blasio's since disbanded political group. A legal expert that we spoke with said it looks like some indictments could be coming down. Of course, nobody knows who will get indicted, if in fact, or when. Now, de Blasio's spokesperson, Karen Hinton, announced that she is leaving today. She said that it is, in fact, to spend more time with her teenage daughter. Hinton had a rocky tenure that lasted less than a year. The low light was last year when Hinton slammed Albany over its handling of Legionnaire's disease. And I think 2 hours later, a senior de Blasio advisor said those views were not the views of the administration. Think about that. Spokesperson not speaking for the administration. All right. Dominic, is this more of a drip, drip, drip here? Or is there one big smoking gun that they're really most worried about of the things you mentioned?
The only thing I disagree with what you said, it's a big drip. A big drip. A big drip, drip, drip. De Blasio's got problems. Whenever your press secretary leaves, it's always officially to spend time with my kids, my husband, my wife, but officially it means that you sense there's trouble, you can't handle the message anymore, or the mayor has lost faith in you. To be so relatively young in his tenure, how could you be facing so many investigations? This is almost, Richard, like not ready for primetime live. He really was the accidental mayor, and he's proving it now.
And you know, Shelley, you just get the... So harsh. He is harsh, but I think where it's hard to debate is you get the impression that it's not him that's necessarily allegedly even profiting from some of these alleged incidents here where these probes are digging into. He has surrounded himself, I don't think anybody can debate this, with a really weak group. I mean, from the messaging that even he has said has failed him terribly, to decisions not even to address the media, which has made the media an enemy where you can't win in New York when that happens, to obviously getting outmaneuvered time after time after time again by the governor. A lot of that has to do with who you choose to surround yourself with. And Hinton's just the latest example. I mean, you've seen good and bad administrations, right? This ain't at the top of the list.
Well, I'm not prepared to say that as someone who doesn't deal with them. You know, I deal with one city, my own, all the time. It's a complicated place. They've clearly made some mistakes along the way operationally, which I think has really hurt them overall, because you remember the perception that homelessness was increasing turned many of their supporters against them. They weren't ahead of that. They've fallen behind on some of these key issues that go to people's confidence in your ability to manage. And I think that has hurt them. Plus, frankly, the politics of dealing with the governor is very difficult. And I don't know the insides and outs of it, but there's clearly a tension that has really damaged the mayor. So I am a little more generous than the rest of you. I think the guy is trying. He's clearly has a tremendous challenge.
If you looked at the list we did here, what do you think they're most worried about of all those probes?
Well, I think the fundraising probe is serious. I mean, I think they're all serious. I mean, you've got 6 different agencies, federal, state, and local, investigating an administration, and you clearly have an enemy in the governor. I think he's got to take them all seriously. The fundraising, I remember hearing something years ago about this city money going up to, Putnam County, and it was wrong. So I think you have much stricter enforcement. If you look at the statewide press, the statewide investigations, they're going after Board of Election issues. They're going after fundraising. I think that's probably the number one thing he's got to worry about. But he's got to worry about that he's not all that popular, and he's taking on a lot of water, and he's not doing a good job in the eyes of a lot of New York City people.
We were talking, looking ahead. He wants to be reelected, and who knows, that's down the line. But if he wanted to turn public perception in the next year and a half, forget what the courts do. What should be the first order of business to turn things around?
I think he needs to spotlight the things that he's actually accomplished in the city and the progressive advances that he
Tried
promised
that
during
today,
his
and
campaign.
nobody even reported it.
Right, I understand that because everybody's frothing at the mouth over investigations which haven't really proven anything yet.
Wait a minute. Wait, time out, time
No.
out.
These
Preet
are
Bharara
there's-
isn't exactly batting zero here, okay? And he's leading this.
We just reported that we have heard from people that indictments are coming. Where's that coming from?
I agree.
I mean,
You
it's,
know.
no, it's in the investigation process. We're hearing means, indictments are like. Let's wait for the indictment before we put some dirt on the body. He's
You
actually
did a good look at
he's
the
he's
press
at-
sec after 1 year
he's
heading
at-
out the door, and as a father of a teenage daughter, usually they don't
We've
want to
been
spend that much
complaining
more
and
time with you as a
moaning about
parent.
his press presence since he was elected, so maybe it was time for a change in
this
the press
is the
secretary
second one,
anyway.
but all right.
Sure. Interestingly enough, the functioning of the city, he's done a relatively good job. The
In
politics,
spite of him or because of him?
the politics,
Yeah.
he has not done a particularly good job, which is ironic because he's a political animal. But he was very good at the electoral politics. He's not the accidental mayor. He won 2 primaries. He didn't
I'm
win
with
either, or he won a
Dominic on
primary
this
and a
one.
general.
There's no doubt
neither
about it,
one,
he's
act-
accidental.
neither one
There's
was
no doubt
accidental.
about it.
Yeah, he accidentally got more votes than anybody who was running.
Only 25% of the electorate turned out for the primary. That's an accident. He
Bharara
had a
said-
black kid with an afro.
He accidentally
That's why
won the
he's the mayor of
primary
New
and
York
he
City.
accidentally got more votes in the general election. So let's give it a little more time.
The U.S. Attorney, Preet Bharara, said, stay tuned. When he says stay tuned on
That
City
means
Hall,
indictments are coming. That's what
and
that
executives.
tuned
And
is.
Andrew, I'm prepared to take that bet with you if you don't think indictments are coming. But all right.
I'll take money that he's going to get reelected.
Coming up next, you didn't answer my question though. The country, has become polarized. No news flash there. And one of the latest flashpoints is bathrooms. Even they've become a battleground. You thank North Carolina and that transgender law just passed that unleashed a whole lot of anger and a whole lot of hate. And just one more thing, it seems, that we have to fight about.